The 1990s, a decade that is often described as socially pivotal for both the right and wrong reasons. The World Wide Web had been born, and with it, the information age. The Clinton clan had cemented a place for themselves in American politics. Diana, Princess of Wales, had met an untimely vehicular demise. Cinema had been dominated by timeless classics, from The Silence of the Lambs, to Forrest Gump, to Titanic, to American Beauty. The very first television network dedicated to cartoons had launched, heralding a major turning point for the animation medium. Video games, likewise, have also witnessed their own turning point, thanks to a combination of new gaming hardware and increasingly inventive game concepts pushing the boundaries beyond anyone's wildest imaginations. Be it the Hollywood-inspired stealth genre-codifying stylings of Metal Gear Solid, the unheard-of versatility of the Sony PlayStation, or the cultural progression brought forth by a rise in strong female protagonists like Lara Croft of the Tomb Raider franchise, video gaming had seen a massive leap on par with Neil Armstrong's expedition to the moon. Of the many innovations that video games have seen this decade, one of these is especially unique. Its significance is oft taken for granted nowadays, but the significance itself has not at all diminished and deserves to be remembered. 1998, Minato-based video game developer-publisher Konami was enjoying an immense wave of success thanks to Metal Gear Solid. It was also during this same year that a new addition to the company's library also made its own waves in the industry. You could say that it was revolutionary, in a way. I am of course talking about Dance Dance Revolution, the arcade music game sensation that has swept the globe. Like the above-mentioned Metal Gear Solid, the game pioneered and codified a lot of the standard fare in the music/rhythm game genre, namely the concept of hitting buttons corresponding with visual prompts scrolling on a screen. In the case of Dance Dance Revolution, it's as simple as it gets. You play on a 6x3 stage, or pad, with square arrow panels mapped to the 4 cardinal directions: up, down, left, and right. The name of the game is to step on one or two of the panels in time, with the arrows that scroll on screen in an upwards direction towards the designated target zone, and you do so to the rhythm of the chosen song. This is the epitome of superficially simplistic concepts that lend towards a greater level of depth. Contrary to popular belief, Dance Dance Revolution is neither Konami's first rhythm game nor is it the first rhythm or music game, period. Preceding DDR are past games such as Parappa the Rapper and Konami's own Beat Mania, the company's actual first rhythm game and whom its music game division Bemani would be named after. It might not have been the first actual rhythm game, but it was still a sheer leap as far as video games go. It took the concept of physical interactivity in video games, a concept that could have easily turned disastrous, and made it work. No, it didn't just work. It was a groundbreaking notion that helped change general attitudes towards video games. Dance Dance Revolution provided a time-tested and fun style of play that appealed to many a demographic. It was, and still is, a great means of physical fitness and a solid alternative to other cardio workouts like jogging. The song selection boasting an impressive lineup of licensed and in-house music meant that there was always a song for everyone. And while it is a bit of a stretch to call DDR a straight-up dancing simulator, which it isn't, the simplicity of the gameplay invites a wealth of creativity from players, with the most creative of them devising awe-inspiring freestyle routines that utilize the stage in unique ways. From there, you can see why Dance Dance Revolution was such a gargantuan video game craze. And unlike its predecessor Beat Mania, which was a success only in Japan and attaining a cult popularity overseas, DDR achieved equal popularity in multiple parts of the globe. Yes, this includes North America, where console gaming has almost completely overtaken arcade gaming. Konami was even generous enough to provide the region with their own localized version, almost if not 100% faithful to the original Japanese release. How kind of them. What the hell happened to that, Konami? When it comes to music, it doesn't get any better than this. DDR has always featured an eclectic lineup of songs, both licensed and original in-house composed. From the licensed side of things, standouts in the first iteration include That's the Way I Like It by Casey and the Sunshine Band,
That's the way, I like it. That's the way, I like it. That's the way, I like it. That's the way, I like it.
Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas,
Come on. Move on. Those hits were fast as lightning. Woo-cha.
and everyone's favorite, Butterfly by Swedish Europop girl group Smile.dk. And I do mean everyone's favorite, as in it's one of the most common picks for the casual crowd, if not the most common. A most interesting aspect of DDR's licensed music in the first 8 mixes is that it was lifted from the Dance Mania album series by the now defunct music corporation Toshiba EMI. That's because of a cross-promotion negotiation between Konami and Toshiba EMI that permitted the former to use music from the latter. However, by no means am I downplaying the in-house music, or the Konami originals, or KOs. Not that kind of KO. For the first game, the KOs were composed entirely by one man, Naoki Maeda, who not so coincidentally was enlisted to be a DDR composer by then-producer Yoshihiko Ota. In the first game's 11-song list, Naoki was responsible for only 3 songs, Make It Better, Trip Machine, and Paranoia. And even then, the former 2 songs were only included in the game's internet ranking version, released 2 months after the base version. Trip Machine and Paranoia are noteworthy for being 1 or 2 notches more difficult than the other songs, and have since become 2 long-running series of songs and recurring staples in DDR. Regarding the difficulty and modes available in DDR, there's the standard singles play, versus play, and with the input of a hidden code on the panels, an optional doubles play that, you guessed it, utilized all 8 panels on the dance stage. Versus and doubles have historically costed an additional credit, but may be changed to only cost 1 at the arcade operator's discretion. As of the internet ranking version, each song comes in 3 difficulties: Basic, Another, and Maniac, with a level rating, or foot rating colloquially, gauging the actual difficulty on a 1 to 8 scale. Basic is the entry-level difficulty, Another is for slightly more seasoned players, and Maniac is for maniacs. I'm redundant. In its earliest days, Dance Dance Revolution featured aesthetics inspired by the quote-unquote jukebox period. This is evident in both the song selection and even the in-game interfaces. The mode and difficulty selection menu is punctuated with large bass speakers and a record-scratching sound that plays from switching between choices, and the song select menu is laid out in a jukebox-style appearance where the songs take the shape of discs that you rotate through a la an actual jukebox. Specifically, these aesthetics were used in Dance Dance Revolution first mix, second mix, and third mix. As far as technical specifications go, the first 8 mixes of DDR used an arcade board known as System 573. The name itself is a wordplay, or a number play if you will. Konami is 573 and Goro Awase, which is a type of Japanese wordplay. The arcade board comes in 2 variants, analog and digital. The analog version was only used in first mix and second mix, and the digital version was used from third mix to DDR Extreme. System 573 was derived from hardware found on the Sony PlayStation, which is why you sometimes see PS1 memory card slots installed in some cabinets. And their purpose is to allow players to play their own step patterns or step charts created in the console releases. But I'm not talking about the console releases just yet. I may do so at a later point in time, but not now. The current focus will be the mainline arcade releases. Speaking of, join me next time as we look into the individual eras of Dance Dance Revolution, the games they're comprised of, and the identity the series has assumed in each era. Our first stop is the first era, spanning from first mix all the way to fifth mix.